Hello everybody, happy Friday. I've got a little bit of makeup on. I'm gonna take it off while I talk to you guys. I know that I promised that I was going to do a live every single week. We have just been so busy that this is the only time when I get to do a live now after I did a lot of my admin. So I had to come with makeup to work. But now I'll remove it so that I just quickly want to show you a look that you wouldn't think is going to work, but when you put the colors together, it really looks nice. So I'm also not going to wait for a lot of people to come on because we will save it and then you guys can watch it later. Let me just make sure that I've removed all of my makeup. How are you guys doing today? Are you also like tired and ready for these holidays to start? I don't know about you, but my tank is on empty at the moment. But we can make it look like our tanks are full with the right makeup. So I'm going to do quick makeup, so no lashes, but I will start with the foundation first. I'm not even going to do the eyes first. I'm really going to show you how you can do like striking makeup with the least amount of time and effort. And you don't even have to have like a super set of skills when it comes to makeup. All right, so always first things first is we're going to put on our primer or our pre-base. This will protect the pores. This will make the skin ready for the makeup that's coming. And it also, if your primer is a little bit sticky, not those oily ones. For me, the ones that feel like silicone, feels like you're just rubbing the makeup all over. I like something that's like a cream. And once I've put it on and it sort of dries, if I touch my skin, it must have like a tacky feeling, not like glue. This also helps to keep the makeup in place. So the one that I'm using is the Alila primer. But you can get everything that I'm using today on our online store at www.halo.co.za. So everything that I'm using today will be available on our website. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to start with is my foundation. I love using these little small kabuki brushes. Those are the best to put the foundation on, and I'm also using the Alila foundation. So this is my own makeup, so you can see it's, you know, us makeup artists, we always like our kits are immaculate and clean, but when it comes to our own makeup, this is what it looks like. Ons skip onsself af. Okay, so I'm using my brush and I'm using the color Almond Beige on my entire skin. Can't really see there, so let me have the mirror here also. And I'm just doing like a light to medium coverage. I don't want it to be too overdone. This is like, for me, a nice day look. Well, my day and my night looks the same. Sometimes I rock like a super black smoky eye for a morning brunch. So that's completely up to you and your personality. But I'm going to do something that, if I show you the colors, you'll get a fright. I'm going to show you now when I'm done what I want to do. So this foundation is really amazing. It is animal cruelty free. All my products that I use is animal cruelty free, very important to us. And also this foundation is something that we call non-comedogenic. So what that means is that it doesn't clog the pores. So the skin can still breathe while you can get full coverage. So this is a foundation that you can get that like Kardashian, if I can call it that look, without clogging your pores. So you can wear it every single day for the rest of your life. So it's not one of those like stage type of foundations where you need a break after every 3 days. I wear makeup every single day. Some days, like maybe on a Sunday, if I am very lazy and I'm not going to church, sometimes I don't go to church because I just want one foundation free day or a makeup free day. But other than that, I wear it every single day. Okay, so you see I didn't do my eye area because I'm so tired. So I like to use a color that is lighter than my own shade. So for me, I use now the almond. So I'm going to use the matte nude for around my eye area. What this does is it helps to minimize dark circles. It gives a little bit of a highlight around the eye area and on the eyelid. So you can already see the difference from the one side to the other side. This is my tired side. This is I'm on holiday. This is what I'm going to look like after Easter weekend without makeup, hopefully. So under the eyes, and I like using a dabbing movement when I work under the eyes to give a little bit more of a fuller coverage, and on the eyelid. Okay, so can you see what it does? Then I'm just going to, whatever's left on my sponge, take it through like my nose area to give you sort of that slimming effect with the nose and on the chin, because I like sharp features. Okay, now next is going to be powder. Powder to me is one of the most important parts of your makeup application. I'm going to do a video for you guys once I've done, like maybe not today, but on a different occasion where I've had my makeup on the whole day and you sort of get that shine, your pores starts to open up a little bit. All you need is a compact powder like this one, put it over, and it literally looks like you've put over a filter on your face. But don't believe what I say, I'm going to show you so that you can see what I mean, because the proof is always in the pudding. So for around my eye area, I'm going to use the Halo Professional in Translucent is the color, because I want to highlight even more under my eyes. Now, you always get these fine wrinkles under the eyes. So before you put powder, make sure that you iron it out softly. Don't rub it, because then you take away all the coverage. And then you go with your powder and you just set it. So you'll see that this will give me even more of a highlighting effect. Do you see the difference already? And especially on the eyelid, you can see how the product has gone and it's lying there in the creases. So you have to set it with your powder. Okay, you can see what powder is already doing just to the eyes. Look at this, is highlighted to the max. Now let's do the other side. So iron out all those wrinkles and then set with the powder. And the powder also helps to make the wrinkles appear less. Who knew? If you do it correctly and if you use the right powders, that is what it will do. Our powders contain vitamin E. So it's actually when you put your fingers on the powder and you rub it and you close your eyes and you don't know what you're feeling, it almost feels like you've got moisturizer in between your fingers. To me, that is a taste of powder. Rubbing it against my fingers and closing my eyes, and if it feels like moisturizer, then I know I've got a good powder. All right, so this is what we have on our powder. So that was the translucent around my eyes. Next, I'm going to use my Halo Professional, biggest, fattest brush that you have. And I'm going to go for the color beige. Mine, I know, is almost finished. So you know what I do? This is a tip for people who don't like to struggle in life. That's me. Don't like to struggle in life. So when my powders are almost done like that, I would keep this one, get a new one, put the new one in my kit. This one goes into a separate bag where I have all my like half-finished products. So when I go away for a weekend or something like that, I just take that bag and I don't have to repack my makeup. I have one or for gym, in your gym bag. So I keep these half ones and I put a new one in my kit, because during the week I don't want to sickle. I want my stuff to be full and look nice. So this one, you can see, has been used a lot. So now the powder goes all over the face, and you'll see that once it starts taking away that shine, it also makes the pores appear much smoother. Powder is a fantastic tool to give a more youthful, a youthful appearance. I love powder. You can also overdo powder, so never ever overdo powder. Sometimes I find that powder gets overdone when people use the wrong type of foundations. So you get some foundations that like absorb all your powder. So then you get that cakey look. So I love the Alila. It's like a flawless, even application when you put it on, and you decide how much coverage you want. And then you just set with your powder enough so that you just take away the shine and it doesn't become cakey. There's also these sponges in the powders that work well. I like using brushes. It's quicker and then I don't overdo it. The sponge is nice for under the eyes. You'll see that I used a different brush, like a small brush for under the eyes, but the sponge actually works great. Or even the sponge that you use to put the foundation on. So I'll maybe use that side to put the powder under my eyes. Okay. And this is something that you can keep in your handbag for touch-ups. So with our makeup, the only thing you'll need for touch-ups will be compact powder and lipstick. That's all. Because the makeup is going to stay the whole day. Okay, now onto my Halo Professional eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use the orange. Okay, so I've got a little bit of orange in my top today. So I'm going to use the orange and I'm going to give depth by using the browns for depth. And then I think I'm going to use, let us see, maybe the silver color or gold. We'll see when we get there for my highlighter. And then, believe it or not, I'm going to finish it off with a purple lipstick. So I'm very excited to see what this is going to look like. So first of all, I'm going to start with an eyeshadow brush. I actually wore that same eyeshadow because I love it yesterday. That's why my eyeshadow brush is full of the orange colors. Now we start in the corner of the eye, on the outside corner of the eye. And basically, you are going to frame your eyeball. So you just take the brush, sweep it across. And every time you dip, you always start here on the outside. On the outside, and you sweep it across. So that when you're done, you have more pigment here and less here. So once again, whatever I put here, I sort of remove everything from my brush. And what's left on my brush is what I take over to that side. Okay, next, same on this side, and scoop it over to the inside of my eye. So we always start on the outside corner and we work our way around the eyeball. If you touch your eyeball, you are going too low. So you want to really stay in the crease of your eye and against that bone. So if you feel that bone, listen, our eyes are all different. So some people have like more bone, some people have more lid. So this is a good guide, just the corner of your eye and where your fold is. From that fold, a little bit more above that and around. Okay, got it? Now you need a second brush, one that is clean, like this one, and nice and fluffy. And this one we're going to use just to blend those edges so that it's not like orange. So I'm just wiping it all over and in the inside corners as well. Okay, so even this on its own, I kind of like. But let me show you what a difference it makes when you start adding depth to your eyeshadows. So now I'm going to take a brush, also small, my Halo brush, with the brown. I'm first going to go for that brown. And now I'm going to just add depth in the corner. So if I were to push my brush into my eye, there where the eye sinks in the deepest, that is where I want to create depth. That's why we can all do exactly the same eyeshadow, but it's going to look different on everybody because we're all made different. But if you just follow these guides where you press it where the eye sinks in the deepest and you work with your own natural depth. Do you see how it's bringing out that orange? Look how boring that one looks now. And this one is bringing in that depth. If you feel like it's too harsh, then you can go back to your orange brush and just maybe blend the edges. I think mine is fine. Because remember, I said this is easy, quick makeup. So I'm not going to spend too much time on detail because we on our way to work. Okay, no, don't do that. don't do that, please, in your car. Even though I see a lot of women do it. Some people are experts at it. Just as long as you don't do it while it's driving. Just stop. And we add the depth in this corner as well. So you see where I press in, where my eye is sinking in. If it feels a bit weird, that's where it needs to go. And around. And it's the same as with the orange. You always start on the outer corners and you move your way in. I'm not going to go too far in because it is going to be a day look, even though I'm wearing purple lipstick. I just still wanted to look a little bit natural. Well, my natural and other people's natural might be different. And I'm going to go back to my orange and make sure that I blend it. Okay, this is fine as it is right now, but you can still add more depth. So I'm going to go for an even smaller brush, also the halo brush. And now I'm going to go for that brown. So we were here, then we added the depth there. Now I'm going to add that, and you can see my favorite ones, which are the ones I use the most. It's a funny thing that the black hasn't gone in because I also wear a lot of black eyeshadow. And now I add the darkest one, into that corner, also where the eye sinks in the deepest. Okay, if anything falls onto your face, just go for your big fat powder brush and just remove any residue that has fallen onto your face. So you see, that one has got more depth in. So as you go on, it starts looking nicer and nicer. So this one, add the depth right into that corner. Okay, and if you need to blend that, I go back to my brown brush, the lighter brown, and I just make sure that all my browns are marrying that beautiful orange. And the orange brush, just to make sure that we did not lose the orange. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow part. If anything falls on the face, just make sure you remove it. Now I'm going to put on my highlighter, so also one of my halo brushes. And I'm thinking, let's go for the gold. Let's do the gold. So the gold is that one, because I'm wearing gold earrings, not that you can see them with all of this hair. So this is going to go onto my eyelid, like the ball of the eye, that part. And this is such a beautiful, beautiful gold. And for me, this gold even looks nicer on darker skin. So for the darker ladies, this gold is so nice. You can even use it as a highlighter here. It's fantastic. Okay, and that is my eyeshadows done and dusted. Once again, if something falls, you can just remove it. Let's go to the eyeliner under the eyes. As you all know by now, I don't like using pencils. For me, it's harsh. It just makes it more of a hassle to remove at night. And I want to make my life easy. So I'm going to use my angle brush, also in my halo brush set. And I'm going to use the orange. And that is just going to go under the eyes. And because it's not like a black, you can really go quite thick with it. You see how nice that looks. And once you've put on your orange, I'm going to skip the lighter brown. I'm just going to go for the dark brown to save me some time. And this I'm going to put right next to my lash line. Right next, and that's just framing the eye nicely. Okay. Once again, if anything fell onto the face, we just remove it. Okay. Now we get to the liner on the eyes, the liquid eyeliner. So I'm using my Halo liquid liner. Did you know that eyeliners smell like sweets? Because why not? while we were at it, we thought, what can we do to make this even a nicer experience? So we added some fragrance to it. Okay, so this is how I do my liquid liner. I know there's some of you that are very talented and you can just go and draw. I have wrinkles on my eyes, so I need to pull the skin flat. Oh, and I have to see what I'm doing. So I pull the skin flat, and then I start on the outside corner. And I like to go thicker on the outside and then take it thinner and thinner as I go towards my eye. Okay, so that's my first line. And then from there, I try to bring it a little bit more up. And just flick it out slightly. Okay, I'm not going to go too extreme with my wing. This is also a nice way to go from day to night, is when you get home, you go and you extend that wing so that it is like va-va-voom. Okay, now I start on this side, thicker on the outside, and thinner as I go in. So the more wrinkles you have, the more you're going to have to iron out. And what happens, this is why when I've got time, I like to do my eyes first and then foundation. But if this happens, you see where I did that, my fingerprints. So I'll just go back to my brush, my kabuki brush, and just make sure that my fingerprints are gone. Okay, but let me fix this one first. And then we do the flick on this side also. Just a slight flick. Nothing too extreme. Those of you who know me know that I like my wings. Sometimes they are up to here. But today, I'm being subtle for you guys. Okay. Now, let's just remove my fingerprints. Now, because this is a creamy foundation that is still on here, you might want to go back to your powder. Just to make sure that it's not shiny in the temples. Now let's do mascara. So we have a beautiful black, intense black, waterproof mascara with a very small applicator. Great for people who don't have long lashes, like moi, so that you can get every single hair. A tip for you guys, when using a mascara, don't pump the mascara because you're putting air into it, which dries it quicker. And then you'll be like, why does this mascara only last me 2 months? It's because you're pumping air into it. So just in and out, that's all you want. Okay, mascara done. Next, we're going to move on to our eyebrow pencil. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. Did I tell you guys that I am going to Cape Town in May? So we have so many clients in Cape Town that have been asking us. So we will be traveling there in the end of May. We'll have group non-interactive workshops. We'll have an interactive class. There's only 10 spaces left. I think there's already 9 left. And masterclass for makeup artists. This is only open for qualified makeup artists. And what else are we going to do? Workshops, the non-interactive workshops. We've got 3 planned in Langebaan, Brackenfell, and then also one at Bloemendal Wine Estate, the 360. All right, eyebrow pencil. So first, I'm going to comb my hairs. And then I do an underline. And then I frame the top. And you just work on your own line. Remember to include your arch to give yourself that nice lift. And what you want to do is create a sharp point at the edge. Ach, dankie! And it's so easy. You guys can all do this at home. I promise you, get yourself this palette. Just watch my video over and over and over again. And the brushes are obviously the kicker. Because without proper brushes, your makeup will not look nice. And then when you brush the hair, it looks more natural. And comb the hair through. So the one that I'm using is the dark brown. And you see how small it is. So that is to create all those nice brush strokes. I don't have a lot of hair on my brows as well. Oh, ek het baie probleme. Maar you can draw them in as if it's hair. So you see I have a gap in that area, so I like filling it up and then extending. If you're a little bit older, it's not just older people, it's also people who have like overhanging eyelid. So don't make your eyebrow too long, because if it's drooping already and you extend your brow too much, you're actually accentuating that hanging feature. So then keep your brows short. The best way to do it is measuring from the corner of the nose, corner of the eye. That's where you want to stop. But if you really have a lot of droop, then even shorter than that. Okay. I know they used to say in the olden days, the longer your brows, the thinner your face looks. But that is not the truth. It's old-fashioned. So we want it to match our facial features and our age. Okay. Oh, thank you, Karen. And thank you for supporting us by purchasing your palette. There is so many things that you can do with that palette, from day to night and on all skin colors. It just works fantastic because it just has every color that suits every person on this planet. The only scary color I would say would be the purple and the black. But I did a video, I think 2 weeks ago, on the purple. So you can just watch that video and then you know what to do. Okay, so my brows are done. Happy with the eye area. Now we move on to the rest of the face. So I'm going to use for contouring also a compact powder. Same, so I used 3 already, compact powders. The translucent around my eyes, the beige for the rest of my face. If you're a bit lighter than me, because I'm quite tanned, you will use the nude. And then we've got the sand, which would be for much darker skin tones, more towards Indian. Do you want to see the black? Okay, let's show you the black. Okay, remind me at the end. Okay, I get wipes. Okay, so the black eyeshadow is like super black. I don't know if you guys can see. So the ring light also like diffuses a lot of the color. So, because I'm quite tanned and you don't really see that on the video. But the black is like super intense. Now, let's remove it before I ruin everything. Okay. It is when we do makeup and stuff and we've used different palettes that we have in studio, we found that the Halo Black is the most potent black. So when you use it, just be careful. Or, of it maybe going everywhere. Okay, so contouring. That is that thing where you make me look thinner than what I really am. So we don't have to go on diets, we just fake it till we make it. Okay. Yes, Jessica, try this black. You would absolutely love it. So I'm using the Halo angled brush for my contouring. And now we go right underneath this bone. So don't do this, because you see where it's denting in there. That's the wrong place for contouring. We want to lift everything up. So you want to keep it right underneath that bone. And it's basically, see your bone here as a boob. And this is the Wonder Bra. It's basically going to lift that boob up. So right underneath that bone. Giving it a bone lift and not a boob lift. Okay. So for Indian skin tones, we've actually used on lighter Indian the translucent. But I would say for Indian, you would actually like to use the nude for under the eyes. The nude for under the eyes, and then depending on how dark you are, because we've had Indians where the beige that I've got on actually worked very, very well. So you'll have to have them all maybe in your kit if you're a makeup artist, and mix them maybe. Okay, so right underneath that bone to give you that lift. Okay, we're not doing anything here because we want to keep this nice and clean so that you get that structure of the face where it is a little bit of a stronger jawline and it's dented in this area. Okay, and what you can do is, especially if you've got a little bit of a double chin, is you can take your sand color and you can just frame the rest of your face. Thank you, Tasha. I was always the class clown in school, so I'm glad I get to share that with you guys. And you can also frame your face a little bit around your forehead. And if you want to thin out your nose, you can take your contouring at the side of the nose. I have a skew nose, I know that. Hey, we can't all be perfect, you know. So that is just giving that shadow. So you don't want like solid brown lines against. That's why this color is actually the best color for everyone. If you're a bit darker, you can use the espresso for contouring. That'll be way too dark for me. It's our darkest color that we have. Okay, so question, laat ek net sien. If you put falsies on, do you do mascara before or after? Okay, so always after, because what happens, say for instance, I decide I want to put lashes on now. It won't look bad, but the mascara is already dried. Now you put the false lash on, now you can see the difference between the two. Even if you try to mascara them, this one is already set. So what you want to do is when you put your false lashes on, you want to mascara them together so that they dry together and then they look more natural. Okay, so that makes sense, right? So always after everything is done, I'll put on mascara. All right, so remember, contouring is not blusher. Contouring was just to give us a little bit of warmth in the face and to give structure to the face. So daai maak my maar goeders, okay? So now we're going to do blusher. My absolute favorite blusher for the moment is Fancy Face. I've got them all. I have them all, obviously. So Fancy Face, especially when I'm tanned, gives me the most beautiful color. Okay, so that's my Fancy Face. It looks lighter than what it in this screen. Like I said, the ring light diffuses a lot of the color, but it's a bit darker, so great for a little bit darker skin. So Fancy Face for my more tanned clients and Indian colored clients, that is definitely the one that I would choose. Now this goes, if I smile, the fatty part of my cheek, it goes on that area. On that for color and over the contouring, because you want everything to blend together. And this orange color is just beautiful. So a lot of the times I'm too lazy to do eyeshadows. So after I've done my blusher, I'll just go with my brush like this and I'll just brush it over my eyelids and there I go. You can ask my staff. That's how I come to work a lot of the times when I'm in a hurry or lazy. You choose. Okay. And you can do a little bit on the tip of your nose, just not too much, then it looks like you've got snot neusie. Alright, so the face is done. Are we there yet? That was quite quick. How long were we on here? Or was I talking too much? So now we're going to do the lips. So let me show you. So you can do a lip liner. A lip liner is very beneficial to create your beautiful lip line. I forgot mine at home. Actually not at home, it was in, because I change my handbag every day. So I forgot it in the handbag that I had yesterday. So I'm going to go for this color that is called Hollywood. Look how amazing. This is one of my favorite colors and people are so scared of it. But please don't be scared. This is a winter, a summer, a everything color. And it just gives you life. Okay, let me just focus. So because I'm not doing a lip liner, I have to be super careful because a lip liner will help you to create the perfect line. And I haven't had lunch yet, so I've got a little bit of a shaky hand. It's not helping. You know, that hangry hand. I'm not hangry yet. How beautiful is that color? Is 'n bietjie skeef. Wag, is 'n bietjie skeef. Huh? Look how stunning. And who would have thought that orange eyeshadow with a purple lipstick? So it's got everything. I don't know if you can see my outfit. I've got purple pants on, and my top has got a little bit of orange in. So I've incorporated a little bit of everything in my outfit, and that is what I love about makeup, is that you can really experiment with what you're wearing. So we will be launching 20 new amazing products within like the next 2 to 3 weeks. And it's like I said to my ladies today, I'm burning to use it, because there's a color that we are bringing out that would have been absolutely incredible with this outfit. But nevertheless, I promised you guys I'll do a live every week. I know I missed last week. We are just so busy creating new products and seeing all of our clients, but I will definitely make more time to do these lives. Now we want to make the makeup last the whole day, so I'm using my Halo freeze frame. So this is unlike any other setting spray on the market, because if you shake it, you'll hear it's quite thick. So when you spray it on, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's quite a thick consistency. Can you just see? So when I rub it, it almost feels a bit oily. But even people with oily skin can use it. So what it does is it gives the glow back. I don't know if you guys can see that the powderiness that was there is now gone, because the freeze frame is giving the glow back to the skin. Amazing. So please let me know what you want to see next, because I'm just thinking of things that I want to do. But it'd be great to hear from you guys what makeup applications you want to see. Then I'll try and do weekly, maybe twice a week if you want. I can show you how to do your makeup like that, and even fun stuff. I'm always open for fun stuff, so let me know. But it was great to spend a little bit of time with you guys. I hope you learned something. I hope I inspired you to try new looks and to try colors like this amazing lipstick. It's called Hollywood, and you can find that on our website. Okay, only till stocks last, so don't lose out. Okay, love you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.